It's Groundhog Day again. February 20th. Last time we were up here was the day after Groundhog Day on the 3rd. It has been brutal cold here, so we have not been to the hangar since the 3rd. So what's that, 17 days? A little over
198 hours.
100, yeah, we had 100, officially 198 hours that we never got above zero. What's that? Fahrenheit. Last Saturday it was 34 below, Sunday was 31 below, and then it started to warm up. We had a heat wave and it was, 6 degrees. It's warmed up again, we're back up into the low 30s today, so we're back up here. And the reason we didn't come up is because even though the hangar is heated, it's kept at 48 degrees when we're not here. But to turn it up and try to warm the hangar up and make it so that, it's comfortable for us to work in would have taken way too long. The concrete floor is cold, and we just didn't want to have to deal with that. So we just did other stuff and took a little bit of a break. But we're back at it today. We're going to be fitting the flap gap seals onto the back of the wing again. We got all those holes last time. We got those all drilled out and prepped, ready to go. Then we're going to fit the gap seals. Then we're going to temporarily mount the aileron and flap. We're going to check the clearance between the gap seal and the aileron and the flap. And once we're good with that, we'll take those off and then we'll rivet the gap seal on. We've got our flap gap seal clecoed in, and we've got our aileron mounted. We just put a bolt through each of the hinges, and everything's looking good there. What we're looking for is to make sure that there's no interference on this these rivets here, to make sure that they don't touch that gap seal. And you can see if you lift it up or down, when it goes up or down, it clears that. There's good clearance in there for those. Same goes with the flaps. Those came out fine, so good there. We'll take these, take the flaps off. About right there, 0. So we'll take the flaps off. We're gonna rivet this gap seal in. First we're gonna re-rivet. We actually have a couple things we need to finish first, and that's fuel tank support on this side. We're going to rivet that up, and then we ended up with a little bit of pillowing on this end, on this skin right here. A little bit of pillow on that. So what we're going to do, we're going to take 1, 2, 3. We're going to take these 4 rivets out, and or we're going to do 5. We're going to do this one too. That one's good there.
That one's just really bad there.
That light really throws off the exposure on this camera. So we're going to drill out these 4 rivets and redo this here. We don't have to take this rivet out because that's a stringer underneath. It's not attached to anything other than the skin. So we'll do that. Okay, finished up top riveting on the wing. We've got everything done except this end here. This is the inside rib, which actually will come out when we do the fuel tank. So this has to come out so that we can put the fuel tank in when we get to that point. So none of this will be riveted until later. We got our flap gap seal top rivets done. We just need to do the bottom rivets along here, and just something of note that so this is the spar doubler right here where the truss is bolted in. There's the 2 bolts for the truss. There's a doubler, and these 2 rivets got left out until this flap gap seal gets installed. And all that the manual says is that you have to use a quote-unquote larger rivet, or is it longer rivet? Anyways, longer rivet. Says, it doesn't say what kind, it just says use a longer rivet. So the rivets that were spec'd here were dash 43 rivets. And I think I had emailed Randy about this because this is actually too short for the thickness of this doubler and this spar, but he said they prefer that rivet in there because it's loaded in tension, and they said that it has a better shear character, or better, no, it's not loaded in tension, loaded in shear, it has a better shear characteristic. But these 2, they don't spec what rivet to use, and when I measure this stuff, it specs out to a 44 instead of a 43, like way past a 43. So we're like mid to upper range of a 44. So if y'all are building a wing, putting the gap seals on, I'd like to get your thoughts on that. What did you put in there, or what are you gonna put in there? We're gonna do a 44. So we're gonna get started on that. Sorry for some lack of video so far today. We both were feeling a little under the weather, but we're up here working. We're done for the day. We got finished up this top wing skin and gap seals. That's all riveted on, and our next step is we will be building, putting together the wing jigs that fit this, fit that form of the wing, so we can turn the wing over. We'll set it on those jigs, and then we can start doing the bottom skin. And we've got kind of a laundry list of stuff that we need to get done on that. We're bushed. We are feeling, I think I said earlier, we're feeling a little under the weather. We got some vaccinations, our second round vaccinations of not COVID-19. It was shingles. We got our shingles vax done, and it's kind of did that last night, kind of kicking our butts. But no, but we got this done, and we're kind of to a good stopping point for today. So not sure if we'll be back up tomorrow. And this video is probably going to be pretty late posted. I got a different computer at home, so I'm going through and getting Windows and everything set up on that. My editing software, I'm going to try different editing software. I was using PowerDirector, an old version of PowerDirector, PowerDirector 14. And I think I'm going to try DaVinci Resolve to see if that works any better for this stuff. And what did you?
You wanted to talk about cutting the thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot to show that. One thing I forgot to show was we did cut. You have to cut this on these gap seals. There's a tie, a piece that ties this gap, and we cut it off after we riveted the top on. Before we riveted this, we pulled that away, cut it. Did we do it after we riveted or before we riveted? We had it all clecoed up, that's right. So we just pulled that away, pair of shears, cut that on both sides and also down there. And then just use a flat file to clean that up. Because once you remove that, the only structure in this flap gap seal is this little strip right here, and you can very easily bend that if you don't have it attached to the wing. And then I guess if you mess it up, you gotta buy a new one. And I don't want to do that. So did it how they called for it. Worked pretty good. So yeah, that's that on there. But yeah, not sure when we're going to be back up, see how we feel tomorrow, and going into next week. Hopefully it's supposed to be quite a bit warmer this week. However, it's supposed to cool off again by next weekend, so we'll have to see what the weather's doing. But yeah, appreciate the views and the questions and comments and likes. So give me a thumbs up if you're liking the video, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and we'll see you next time, and have a good day. That's it for now.